As we have mentioned, desertification and significant population growth and the competition over the natural resources, which is land or water or livestock, that also one of the reasons behind the current conflict in Darfur. The recurrent drought. It is found that there is a cycle of drought every 5 years. There is a cycle of drought in Darfur, which is characterized by low rainfalls, low production, low pasture or non-pasture, and so on. That also have affected the situation in Darfur. And that creates some sort of tension between the different tribes and the different ethical groups. Local conflict have been exacerbated by the dismantling of the native administration. It is a kind of local administration that local leaders playing a very effective role in security and solving the problems between the community. These local or native administration have been dismantled by the central government, and that has affected the whole situation in Darfur. If we add the weakness of the governance and rule of law structures or institutions, but you can imagine what will happen in such a situation. This is, in general, the main root causes behind the current Darfur conflict. What is the situation in Darfur now? The fighting or the conflict has started in 2003, and now you can say 5 or 6 years after the fighting in Darfur, it is still the situation is characterized by lack of human security. Also, as general information, we found that more than 300,000 of the population were died during this fighting, and around 3 million population were moved from their original areas to another, and mostly they are now accommodated in the so-called IDP camps, internal displaced population camps. The prospect of return for these IDPs is not seem to be encouraging, and that is because the security, there is doubt about the security in the areas of return, and that's why the IDPs are reluctant to take a decision to go back to their home villages. Still, there is increase of tension and insecurity in the IDPs camp and among the local communities, and that is can be explained by the current situation when the Sudan government has taken a decision by asking around 13 NGO to move out of Sudan. The decision to us is a little bit politicized, but that has affected the situation and create some sort of tension between the IDPs community and the national organizations who are seen by the IDPs as spies or pro-government. We think that most of the donor funds currently are directed towards the humanitarian activities, which is mainly revolving around the life-saving activities, and this is also the general description in brief for the current situation in Darfur. um, we think that 6 years after the conflict, and all the efforts are revolving around the humanitarian support, and due to the disruption of the livelihood, complete disruption of the livelihood system in Darfur, and loss of assets for the population, there is we can say systematic asset stripping. People are losing their assets from time to time, either by selling them to just to get some of their basic needs, or by lose them by robbing, by whatsoever. And also there is production failure, either by the people in the IDP camps, they have no access to their farmlands, or if they succeed to plant it, they will not be able to continue the other stages of production, weeding, harvesting, whatsoever, because of security. There is complete also market failure. In the past, there is a market system that people, rural people, moves with their products and livestock from their villages to sub-markets, to the main markets, to the town markets, and because of security, insecurity, they cannot, all these markets were destroyed, and there is failure of a market. There is failure also of accessing the natural resources. Some of the population in the past, they used to get the firewood or hay or other natural resources, just sell them to get some income to fund their needs. And also there is failure of transmitting the remittance from their relatives who are working outside the country. Trade also have disturbed because of security, and the local traders or the other traders cannot move their goods from location to another. The IDP camps are located around the main towns in Darfur, and because of the increase of supply of labor force, the wages were demanded, and that also affected the IDPs. For these reasons, we do think that UNDP is supposed to provide support to and targeting some livelihood activities in an areas which is still having relative stability. There is some security, there is some homogeneity between the population, there is no disturbance. So in these geographical locations, still there is opportunity to implement or to fund some livelihood activities that will meet the other demands of the community, other than the humanitarian support that is provided in the IDP camps.